Okay, before I take my Jeep back to the rental place where I got it, Enterprise, I was going to do a quick review. I've been driving this for 5-6 days now. Here's what I think. Alright, first of all, I really like it. Of course I do. I'm going to give you the good first. I think it's cool. I didn't get a chance to take the tops off because I'm very busy this week, and I didn't want to mess with rain and being in a hotel and all. So, first of all, one of the biggest reasons I would get one of these is to drive around without the top, okay? And I wasn't able to do that. Driving around without the top is one of the coolest things, I think, that you can do with a Jeep. Alright, and I wasn't able to do that. But you can, okay? Taking these tops off I did do it when I first got it. It's pretty easy. You take this off, you unhatch this, you undo this, and you unscrew that. They come off pretty easy, and they go back on pretty easy. So the front parts are easy. They're kind of like they're more flimsy than I thought. They're kind of like a fiberglassy type material. Okay, so all that's good. All right, here's what else I like. I'm very high up. I feel tall. As I said in one video, if you get out of this vehicle, you're standing up. So it's not like you have to stand up, you step out and you're standing up. That's actually kind of cool. I actually like that. If you go through a drive-through or something, being high up is a good feeling. Okay, what else? I did not know that you could roll the windows up and down because there's nothing over here to allow you to do that. So at first I thought, well, since you can't take the doors off, you probably can't roll the windows up and down. But then I talked to my friend who has a Jeep, and he said, here they are right here. So you actually roll the windows up and down here, but the doors do come off. And the windows do go up and down. Okay, that's cool. This is a standard radio. It's got a CD player. The speakers in this car are average. They're not great. They're not terrible. They're just average. So just the stock speakers and the stock stereo it's average. It's not terrible, not great. Okay, what else do I like? I like the Jeep in general. I like the sort of structure. I like that there's a big, huge tire on the back instead of a little donut. I think that's pretty cool. Once you change tires, you don't have to worry about a little tiny donut being your backup spare. That's cool because you can only go on those donuts. Supposedly, you can only go for 50 miles. And if you put that spare on, you could go further and not have to worry so much. Okay, what else do I like? Oh, crap. So I also like the toughness feeling I get driving this vehicle. So last night I was in some thunderstorms and a lot of wind, but I felt safer. Not saying I would be safe in a tornado or something, but I felt safer knowing that this is a heavy vehicle and that it would be less likely to slide around. Actually, it did slide when I accelerated. It slid around a lot when I accelerated, but if a branch were to fall in the road, or if I needed to go up over a curb, I really like that feeling. I like the feeling to knowing that I have the ability to jump a curb and go around a car or something if I want to. So I like that feeling. Now this week, I actually did accidentally go over 3 or 4 curbs. I would go around a corner and bump, 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 okay? So I accidentally did go over some curbs because the car is bigger than I'm used to, and I'm not real familiar with how far out this car goes. So driving this it took me about a week to get really used to it. At first I was really kind of like, I don't know what I can do with it, but now I feel a lot more comfortable with it. Okay, what else do I like? I like the feeling. So I said I like the feeling of kind of a tougher vehicle, kind of a more of an emergency vehicle. It would be good in the snow or maybe the rain, or if a branch was down on the road, you could go over it, or if you needed to pull somebody out. I like that. I like how the trunk opens. I like how the back door opens, which I'll show you that a little later when I'm not driving. Okay, let's talk about what I don't like. I was a little shocked to get gas and see how fast it lost its gas. I mean, I'm used to getting about 32, 33 miles per gallon. I'm getting 17.7 here. The thing uses gas, okay? Well, I already knew that, and that's not why you buy one of these. So, okay. It uses a lot of gas. Well, it's heavy. All right, look at the bugs on the windshield. Now, the windshield is like vertical, so the bugs splat, and you can see all these bugs on it, right? So they don't really deflect because the windshield on my van is like that, right? So that's kind of a downside. But it's also really easy to clean this windshield because it's really small. So when I get out and get gas, I can wipe it off a lot easier than my Honda Odyssey van. So yeah, there's more bugs, but yeah, it's also easier to clean. Okay, so I've been doing a lot of highway driving, and I will say it's not, and I know it's not built for the highway. This is not really a highway vehicle. I will say it's got a lot of, when you're driving, it's got a lot of play in the steering wheel, and that means it takes a lot of this to go left and right. It's got a lot of, it kind of does this, it kind of drifts. And that might be how big the tires are, it might be the steering wheel. But it's got a kind of a drifty feeling. Like I kind of find myself like, whoa, whoa. Whereas in my Honda Odyssey van, it feels like it's more built for the highway, okay? And it's kind of like a lot smoother. Now everyone told me that the Jeep would be loud, but I actually don't think it's very loud. I think it's just like any other car. I mean, you can hear it right now. There's a little background noise, but it's no different. Anyway, so I was going to say that it drifts around a little bit. It kind of floats. All right, and like I said, I actually did run into some curbs while I was out, but I didn't really care because it's a big vehicle, right? All right, what else don't I like? Seeing out of this vehicle is difficult. I can't see out of it nearly as well as my car. Take a look. The rear part has a small window, and there's a lot of stuff going on over there. You see how there's a lot of stuff going on? Well, it'd be kind of hard to see a little vehicle down there or a motorcycle, right? It's kind of hard to see cars over there. And if you look out the back, there's the big tires in the way, right? Like I said, I like the big tire, the spare, but it's kind of in the way. If you're trying to back up or something, I'm a little scared I'm going to run into something. So you're a lot more dependent on your mirrors than the windows. So seeing out of it is more difficult. It's not a deal breaker though. I'm not saying these things are deal breakers. I'm just saying these are the things that are negative. Probably the gas, the drifting on the highway, and seeing out of it are the biggest downsides. I think there's plenty of space with that back seat and the trunk. I think there's plenty of space for my needs. It's not a minivan. It's not huge like a minivan or Honda Odyssey, but it's got plenty of room for me. All in all, I probably would buy this vehicle if I could afford it. And that's the other downside, is these things are really expensive. Now, I was talking to a friend at work, and he said he used to really, really love Jeeps, but over the years, they started looking more and more like SUVs. And when he first said that, I didn't know what he was talking about, but then I realized these vehicles do kind of look like SUVs. They don't seem like they're Jeeps anymore, do they? I mean, they're kind of big and boxy. They kind of lost their Jeepness, you know? That's why I don't want hardtops. I want a soft top. If I got a Jeep, I want a Jeep. I don't want an SUV. I was thinking this car kind of looks like a Hummer. I don't like Hummers. I think they're just big and boxy, and I don't think they have that military cool look to them. That's why if I had a Jeep, I'd want a real Jeep with a soft top. Even if it didn't last forever, I still want that soft top feeling to it. You know what I mean? I don't want an SUV. So I probably wouldn't even get this vehicle. I don't know how they come. I don't know if they come with a soft top or a hard top or what. But this is not the one I would get, because I'd want the soft top feel. I want the ability to take the top down and the top back up easily, because I want the top down a lot, and I also don't want the rain to get into my vehicle. So those are my considerations. Those are the things I like and don't like. What else? The air conditioning in this car works really well. It's been super hot all week long, but the air conditioning is great. It just, I mean, it's almost too cold. My Honda Fit, my little car, it's getting pretty old. It has 100,000 miles on it, and now my air conditioner pretty much doesn't work in there. It blows warm air out. So it's a welcome relief to have this cool air in the 100-degree temperatures. The acceleration isn't super great. You know, I don't expect it to be. And I know those people are going to comment and say this is not a highway vehicle. It's meant for off-roading. It's meant for, it's not meant for what I'm using it for, which is kind of the problem, because I'm using it because this is what I do. I would love to take this off-roading. I would love to take this on dirt roads. I love the idea that I can do that, and I want to do that. The problem is I don't, because I don't work in that environment. I will take it camping. I will take it on dirt roads. I will take it on the back roads. But for day-to-day use, which is why I would have to get this as a vehicle for day-to-day use, it's a little impractical. I'd have to really, really, really want one to justify having this for my daily use vehicle. Another thing I didn't like is parking in, you know, when you go into like a Quick Trip or a strip mall and there's just cars everywhere, you know, they're coming in and out. I felt like I couldn't zip in and zip out like I can in a little car. I felt like I had to be a lot more careful. And I did. Well, you know, that I would get used to that. I would get used to that the more I drove it. Now, here's another good thing. When you're in a bigger vehicle, you have more of a intimidation factor. And I don't mean that in a bad way, but people are more respectful of you, or will get out of your way easier than if you're in a little car. If you're in a little car, people don't really respect you. And so I'm not saying that I push people around. By the way, this is it's 4:30 at night on a Friday. This is the traffic leaving St. Louis right now. These are the people trying to get out of town in the rush hour. Unfortunately, I'm going reverse commute to get home from Kansas City. So anyway, I'm not saying that I push people around in this car, but I am saying you get more respect. You get more respect in a big car, and I like that. Because if you're coming, you've got more power because you're bigger, and people just respond to that. Good or bad, I don't know, but it's a fact. All in all, I would get a Jeep. I would not get this Jeep for the top reasons I told you. But I still would get a Jeep. But I would kind of dread. Oh, here's another thing. Whenever you go up on a curb that's steep, this thing really bounces around. You do that thing where you go boom, boom. You know, you kind of, all your crap kind of flies around, which I already knew it, and I kind of expect it. But it's not like a smooth. It's not like a smooth transition. If you run over a pothole or something, you're going to know it and you're going to feel it. I'm not saying that's bad. I'm not saying it's good. I'm just saying it is, and I'm not used to it. That's just having a Jeep. You just got to get used to that. You're going to get bumped around, and that's okay. You know, if you buy a Jeep, I fully expect to be bumped around. I'm not going to get a Jeep and then be surprised because it's bumpy. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it is bumpy. That's all I'm saying. Okay, after this, if I remember, I'm going to show you how to open the door in the back, which is the part that I like. I kind of like the feeling of a small door opening in the back. That's it. That's my review. I don't know what color to get. I will say I see a lot of Jeeps that are all black. 100% black, and so I probably would not get a black Jeep because there's just so many of them. I would want something a little different. I'd probably want something kind of earth colory, something kind of a green, something that blends in, that's not obnoxious, but at the same time, nope, not everyone has the same color. So I was thinking like a brown or a green or something. Something if you were camping, it would kind of just blend into the background, not stick out. But at the same time, it wouldn't be black. So anyway, that's that. This is the vehicle. That's what I think.